And up here we are coming up to the Shul, and then also the supermarket. And it's just a beautiful Yeshuv. You know, it's about, in traffic it can take, you know, half an hour to enter into Jerusalem. But you know, it can be as short as 15 minutes. So here's the outside of the Shul. So there's over here, on this side, we've got the Sephardi Shul. Over here we have the Ashkenaz on the bottom and the Taimani on the top. We'll come over, let's take a look at the community. So Jerusalem is over in this direction, over those hills. And those apartment buildings, that's Tel Zion. That's officially within our gate, within our fence, but it is its own community. That's like the Haredi or ultra-Orthodox community, and we are the like Hardal Dati Leumi community. So here we are, we're coming into the Shul. So I'll show you the Sephardi Shul. Hopefully we're not bothering anybody. Very nice. Hopefully it's unlocked also. Let's see. Gotta be quiet. You see they still have the flags from Yom Ha'atzmaut. Very nice. There's the women's section up there. And this place is full to the brim on Shabbos. And they have a kids' shiur also. You know, which is great, and they hand out candy and get them to say psukim. It's very nice. So I actually run the kids' shiur for the Ashkenazim, and I usually do. It's just, you know, it's about the parsha. There's a hall down at the bottom where it's, you know, popular for bar mitzvahs and things like that. Okay, I'll show you. Oh, cool. Okay, the lights are off. We have to be quiet. This is the Ashkenazi Shul. And I usually like to sit here or over here. And we just upgraded the bima. And the Aron was upgraded about a year ago. And Boker Tov. And there's the women's section over there. And so the kids' shiur will usually be over here. It's pretty full on Shabbos. And there's even like a spillover minyan now. And we'll do one more thing. We'll go over to Boker Tov. Go over to the Makolet, so you can kind of see what that's like, and the post office. And I'll show you. So this down here was where they had the marketplace for Yom Ha'atzmaut and like all the party and stuff. And actually, this is a new building. It's about 5 years old. Or this promenade here is about 5 years old. And over here, you see this little room, this little hut, is the post office. And up here is where, when it's nice, we do kiddushes outside. And they actually set up a stage and everything. And this was all filled to the brim for Yom Ha'atzmaut. And there are a lot of, I'm not going to go into the Makolet, but the Makolet's pretty comprehensive. And it's even got some, like, you know, nice boutique stuff. Oh, we'll swing by one of the parks, show you kind of what that looks like. So the Yeshuv was founded about 30 years ago. There were initially, I believe, 10 families. So our house number is actually house number 10. So because it was the 10th house that was built on the Yeshuv. And it was the family that lived there initially lived up on the hilltops over there. This is the, you know, up here, this was part of the newer construction. Get out of the street. And this is just kind of the industrial area. It hasn't really been built up yet, but hopefully they'll have, they've got room to grow. And there's over here there's a gamach, there's a Goodwill, for used clothing, and there is a dry cleaner, and there's a printer. So that's like the commerce, the local. Oh, and there's a carpenter. So so you can, if you are a manufacturer of some sort, or you have a business, you can rent some space for a workshop over here. And let's see, we're gonna head down to the park. And all in all, it's got about, so between the two communities, there's about 2,000 families, a little bit more than 2,000 families, I would guess. It's got, in the Kochav Yaakov section, which is primarily the houses, it has about 750 families. And in Tel Zion, which is the apartments, it has about 1,250. So it's about 2,000 altogether. And it's, it is growing. I would say it's about 10 to 15% English speakers. So as an English speaker, there's plenty of people to be friends with, and it's not like you even have to be friends with everybody. So we used to live on this street when we first moved into here, and there's like a nice little place down here. Here's an outdoor gym. If you look down, you'll see the outdoor gym. And then this is a nice playground, and like this is, everybody comes. This place is like full to the brim on Shabbos day, especially when the weather is nice. And I'll show it again. Shalom. And we've got, so of that, like 750 families, let's say that there's 100 that speak English. Of those 100, let's say that there's 50 where both of the parents are English speakers, and they kind of associate with the English-speaking community. I'd say, so in the Ashkenazi Shul, and here's the park. So we've got swings and slides. It looks a little dreary because of the weather. Oh, and the bus system is also amazing. Every 20 minutes, a bus comes to Jerusalem, and the bus is subsidized by the government. I think by the Shas party. So to get into Jerusalem, it only costs 3 shekels. So that's very convenient. And now we're just taking, another little walk to see some of these houses and to see the gardens that everybody made. And so there's ample parking. You can live here perfectly fine without a car. There's a industrial zone about 5 minutes from here called Shar Benjamin, the Gates of Benjamin, and that has a mechanic. It has a huge supermarket. It has it's got a bakery, a fish guy, a bike store, a toy store, a pet store. It's got a couple different clothing stores, and I'm probably missing some other important stuff. A wedding hall. Oh, they're building a central bus station for the Benjamin region there. The area of Israel that we are in right now is called Benjamin, after the one of the 12 sons, the foundation of the tribe of Benjamin. So he was actually born in a field not so far from here, and so that's where the that's where the region gets its name. And they're also building a like a hospital, so people can have babies and like emergency. It's called a terem or something similar to that, if you're familiar with that terminology. So here we are. We did a little circle, So we only saw a small part of the Yeshuv, and we're gonna head into back into our place, and then I think we call it a wrap. But all in all, I think it's a really up and coming community, and if and it's also like, it's the type of place where your 6-year-old can go pick up your 2-year-old from gone, and you don't need to be concerned about it. And that if you, where also what I found is, and especially within the English speakers, that there's a lot of brotherhood and camaraderie. People really try to look out for each other. It's a lot of immigrants. There's a lot of immigrants that are here. It's got a large French community. I'd say twice as many French as English speakers, and it's even got a strong Spanish-speaking community. Oh, and this is locked. And we're gonna hop in. So here we are, back at the house, and we are gonna call it a wraps. Hopefully this was recording. This is my first tour in 360.